Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Fumikane at YouTube with another model video. Today building the Super Fumina Axis Angel version from Gundam Build Fighters. I think this one is a MSV or special variant to the regular line that appeared in the show. Standard high-grade Build Fighters kit with your typical very clear and easy to understand Bandai instructions, a few colour pages, colour reference section, and a very good colour guide on this particular one, looking at the flesh and eyes. Comprehensive sticker sheet, which we will not use. The box kit contains 14 multimedia runners ranging from polystyrene to ABS for the articulation and joints, poly rubber for the poly caps, vinyl for the apron, clear plastic. Some parts will be unused as this kit is recycled from an original tooling and version of the Super Fumina. The high runner count is due to extra parts added to create this new variant. Assembly and snap fit is done in the usual traditional scale model technique of 2 cuts, nub removal, sanding. Parts that has the same colour is glued together using Tamiya plastic cement to weld the 2 parts together. Any leftover seam is covered in my new homebrew putty and sanded away 24 hours later with a whole range of sandpaper to get as smooth as the plastic itself. The Super Fumina is a kit that I am and this channel is very familiar with, being our 5th build in this orientation of a kit. It is the earliest Mecha Musume entry to the Bandai Gunpla line, sourcing inspiration from the MS Girl line of artwork and designed by the famed artist Fumikane Shimada, known for his works in Sky Girls, Girls and Panzer, Kantai Collection, Busushinki, and Frame Arm Girls. Many manufacturers has made modelling work based off his illustrations. This is not one of his particularly popular designs, though the update is far more appealing than the stranger looking original. It does improve with later on variants of this kit and other Figurize and Build Fighters offerings. I've sat on this for a while, I own it, and I intend to build it. Not being happy with the face plate and the eyes, this was filled in with putty with the intent to use Frame Arm Girl's water slide decals. With some air drying clay in my back pocket, I was fairly displeased with a bit of the hollow areas around the extra armor that just directly connects to all the limbs and part of the body. This was filled out to not have any hollow bits or see-through armor components when looking at strange views around the model. The tail binder is also completely hollow and void of detail. This was flooded in and holes sculpted in where the funnels would sit in, just like the Qubele kits that I built in the past. What this kit did hands down really well and loved is the Wing Zero style angel wings and the articulated joints that connects straight into the backpack. As there's plug sections underneath the wings, I created further textured feathers and clipped them in to extend and detail the wing, much like the Gundam Wing Zero. The boom arm to the wings have been modified. With an exposed midriff, the torso has been padded out and detailed slightly. Just general improvements applied with putty, filling seam lines, filling sunken marks, sanding away imperfections, especially ejector pin and flash marks. Utilizing the APR 150 battery powered cordless airbrush, automotive lacquer primer and lacquer thinner, I primed all surfaces to look for further imperfections to clean up and sand up, which there really wasn't that much, and resumed painting. I am away from my workshop, so limited tools, paints and an airbrush system was used. This is a fairly complex paint scheme that I had in mind and easily pulled it off with a lower powered 0.3mm needle and nozzle airbrush. There was a mixture of lacquers and acrylics depending on what parts, with a very heavy coating of Mr. Crystal Color Pearlescent White or Mica Color Shift Pearlescent paint effect to give it that angelistic look. Lots of pre-shading occurred underneath the pearl for fancy shades from white to pink, metallic or a straight color. A lot of areas of the white parts was buffed up and undercoated with silver, allowing quite a bit of silver to show through for that very clean, bright, light reflecting effect. This gave a wonderful various effects of color gradient, shading, bright whites, metallics, pearls. This all blended in beautifully. The hair was quite drab. I used military desert sand weathering colors in a 3-tone shade for usual hair looking. A slight amount of hand painting to get those glints you see in animation. The flesh was done by 3 shades of lacquer and just a touch of blush with a heavy coat of matte clear on top. Water slide decal eyes were applied to give it that more anime figure statue look and a natural composition, and further water slide decals for some Xeon and Access logos were applied throughout. Very taboo yet effective. I wanted a general, very gentle, deep wet look gloss finish and applied a floor polish to gloss up and seal everything. Minimal weathering underneath. Gave it a solid week to week and a half to let it settle, dry and harden fully before touching or removing any of the finish, and resumed to assemble utilizing PVA glue and snap fitting the final color separated parts together. Realizing why many of the parts were hollow, filling with all that putty and modification, this model is extremely top heavy. It does come with a base, but limited in its posing. Overall, building this model almost for the 5th time. The extra parts that comes with the Axis Angel to make it look like a Qubele from Gundam Zeta. A big fan of that mobile suit design. Shout outs to Japanese Sandman resident YouTube Qubele expert and collector. Check out his channel. With all the issues of the base model and the further issues applied with the Access Angel components, I'm very happy and highly recommend this model. It's almost a blank canvas to do some heavy modifications, completely suitable for cannibalization to remove the wings and other parts for some interesting customs, or going hard with your own variation, especially being playful with paint. A lot of fun. I had a fantastic time with this and extremely pleased with the finish that I've achieved here, regardless of the limited resources I had access to. There's a few awkward elements. The head's slightly too big, the eyes slightly too small, and the chest is just a little too large for the slender hips and the rest of the body. But you can't complain too much, and you can't compare it with the far more expensive and superior yet petite Kotobukiya frame arm girls. If you wish to learn more about the Super Fumina base model, check out my other videos where I've done a base out of the box build and more heavier modifications. Also did another video on the P-Bandai Titan made version. Come to think of it, it all has a heavy Zeta theming to it. Maybe excluding the star winning armored version and the sports outfit figurized version. Those two I will get around to building and showcasing on this video. This wraps up the video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for further content. Check out the description section down below for references, resources, and more links. We will catch you next time. Happy to answer questions in the comment section below, and see you later. What's this in the instructions? This is the blah blah blah, Gunpla work entered in the past competition. Model is controversial because Minato did not get permission from Fumina. The model of the Super Fumina, Axis Angel, is also built without permission from her. No consent. Bandai, what are you doing? It's pretty based.